If you seriously are about your life changing, if you're tired of being in a rut, in a funk, you can have that happen. But right now is the time to see what you have to do to make things differently. Let me start off with an example for this video. You can be the type of person that ends up going back to friends or a relationship to go ahead and get comfort going, to go ahead and not be in your own mind sitting in silence, to go ahead and not face yourself and to learn how to be alone. Now, the purpose of this is to know that you got to go ahead and do it in order to tap into another version of yourself. And also, this means that you are sacrificing once you go ahead and do it. That is sacrificing these types of relationships that you don't have to have or doesn't have to be so strong. Because let's look at it like this. If your reality to come to life looks like be to yourself, if it looks like, oh man, I actually don't like my situation, right? Wouldn't that mean that there's options out there that you have to now face, go head on? Absolutely, right? Because we have options of getting a job, right? Or another job, working more hours. We have the options of starting a side hustle, right? We have the options of literally cutting off relationships to have more time for a job, right? And it's not about money, but those are sometimes some of the common problems or the issues that you can resolve to lead to having more time for yourself at the end, to end up having more peace of mind. But bottom line is that you have to be okay and accept where you're at in order for you to get to the next part and utilizing what you can now with what you can control to get to that next part. So right now, I want you to do a reflection into your life and look at, what do I have to change, right? Do you find yourself always being out around people? Do you find yourself every time you're getting frustrated, you want to go ahead and talk to somebody? Not to say those things aren't going to help you or it is not a good thing to do. It's literally just the facts of knowing, have you been doing this cycle for too long? And if you've changed it, can it help you, right? Because I'm sure all of y'all know that human nature will have you in your comfort zone. So if you fix your mind onto, I want to go ahead and change my life, the next 3 months has to look like, okay, I know if I really want to lock in, I got to make this. I got to have this type of time with myself. I have to learn what I love and I don't love. I have to learn to say no to people, right? This is why reading books, this is why sitting with yourself, whether it's affirmations, a scripting, writing down your thoughts, whether it's literally finding music that you like, finding videos that you actually like. And I would recommend things that are going to help your mind be stimulated or feel liberated. And when I say stimulated, in a good way, where it's like, okay, like you want more, this is teaching you something, putting you onto something. You feel like you're evolving by just watching the video. So it can motivate and get your serotonin and your dopamine already feeling good, ready to start. So those are going to be key factors to, if you really want your life to change, you want a real better future. Now, remember, your actions are going to always matter. So if you've been showing up to the gym 2 times and you know you can literally go on that off day for 30 minutes, right? Then do that, because you know the dream body you want. And I know a lot of stuff is easier said than done, but we have to make choices in life, and a quick transparent moment. I wake up pretty early, y'all, right? To me, it's early. So sometimes I'll wake up at 6, sometimes I'll wake up at 6:30. But I've been noticing that it's really not enough right now. It's really not. Because sometimes throughout the day, when I have things come up that throw off my schedule, I then have to switch my priorities around. And it's not a bad thing. Most times it's not, but it does teach me how to, let's say, move things around, right? But the issue with this is that I don't always have the greatest feeling or a good feeling when I had this planned out and it's very tight or I can't really put it in. So waking up literally at least 30 minutes has been beneficial. Now, the thing about this is that it's easier said than done. It is pretty hard to not sleep early. I mean, well, let me say it's not that it's hard, but when you're not sleeping early, especially because I'm actually staying up to work, I'm not out here just hanging around. Maybe 1, 2 nights, I might just watch something while I'm multitasking, checking out certain stuff like emails or checking out things or updating things in between my little breaks, etc. So I say this because it makes it difficult to wake up early. And I was like, for a moment, like getting on myself. And I feel like it wasn't really helping me because I'm like, you want more, you can do more. But I also had to understand, like, first acknowledge that you're doing good, but also acknowledge that there's this other side of you, right? The Bosana that's on the other end, that's waving and cheering herself on, is waiting. Now, let me dust myself off. Let me say, okay, good job for waking up at 6:30, but you want a smaller waist. You want no waist, right? So maybe you got to also watch your calories, girl, right? So I'm just saying this all to say, like, I have to be fully aware. I have to know, if I want to reach that goal, what does it take? Am I doing what it takes? Does it also mean that don't be getting caught up and distracted? Of course, it means that. It really does. And so even if you're going to have tough moments, I do always say, like, make it up or do what you can that day, because showing up for yourself will always go a long way. Really, it will. Because that one time, before you know it, could be like 3, 4 times in a span of 3, 4 weeks. And it adds up. Just the same way when you have money that you put away instead of wasting. But you don't, that's another story, right? Because it all depends on, like, if you're trying to invest anyways, or if you're saving just to let it be there, or whatever the case is. I'm just saying, be real with your situation, your circumstances, what makes sense to do, what's going to help you, and what is required. And let that resonate or marinate, that's the word I'm looking for, on your mind. And then take those actions and try to do it as a program, and watch it all be worth it. I love y'all. Take care of yourself. And I'm going to start mentioning it now, but you can definitely join my Patreon, where it's going to be like vlogs. I might not do it as often. I haven't did vlogs in such a long time, but I know I'm going to be doing sit down talks, so much more. So click the link down below to join my Patreon. I'll see y'all there. And of course, my website link is there if you want more access and exclusives or want to book a consultation. And so that's it. Like I said, take care of yourself. I love y'all, and I'll talk to y'all very soon. Bye, y'all.